Are you thinking about moving to rural West Virginia? Let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of living in a rural state like West Virginia and see if it's the right move for you. My name is Garrett Cole. I'm the broker of Lakewood Real Estate Service located out of Summersville, Nicholas County, West Virginia, and here to talk to you today about what it's really like living in West Virginia and what to expect before you decide to move to the Mountain State. In my opinion, some of the pros of living in southern West Virginia and rural West Virginia as a whole is the scenic beauty that you get to live in every single day. You get the rivers, the streams, the lakes, you get the state parks. I think we have well over 30 state parks that you can visit. The New River Gorge National Park and Preserve, which is just 10-20 minutes away from Nicholas County, and the seasonal changes that are coming up soon with all the different changes in the leaf color and stuff like that draws a lot of people to West Virginia. You move here, you get to experience that every single day. West Virginia has a lower cost of living than many surrounding states. Part of that is because home prices are not as high, as well as property taxes tend to be lower in West Virginia as compared to surrounding states. And land costs generally are cheaper in West Virginia than in surrounding states, but that is changing a little bit with the increase of the market demand that we are seeing. Privacy is a big thing in West Virginia because usually you have larger tracts of land. There are multiple farms throughout the entire state that you might be wanting to purchase, and then also wooded acreage, so you live amongst the trees and in nature versus being in a big city. There usually aren't traffic jams here. There's a lot less noise, and really there's a lot more breathing room if you're looking for the outdoor style of life. In my opinion, this state is full of recreation if you like the outdoor lifestyle. Everything from hiking, fishing, hunting, boating, ATV trails like the Hatfield-McCoy trails in southern West Virginia, and whitewater rafting, which Nicholas County and Fayette County are known for with the Gauley and New Rivers. The Monongalia National Forest, which gives you thousands upon thousands of acres to explore, to hike, to go drive up on the scenic highway when the leaves are changing, and really enjoy everything that West Virginia has to offer. Around here, usually you have tight-knit communities still where neighbors take care of each other. It's maybe not necessarily quite like Mayberry used to be on TV, but it's still pretty close. Most people know all their neighbors. If there's ever someone struggling, there's always someone in the neighborhood that gives them a hand, and people really take care of each other here, in my opinion, much more than other states that have really got away from that. Community events. There are festivals for what seems like at times everything. Everything from ramps, which you'll learn about in another video if you don't know what ramps are, to the Craigsville Fall Festival, the Oak Hill Oakleaf Festival, and so many other festivals and fairs throughout the state that really bring the community together, let you go out and get your fair food, take the kids out to ride rides, and really just enjoy what simple living can be in these communities and enjoy getting together with your community. One thing, in my opinion, that is really overlooked is the heritage that West Virginia has in history. So, you have everything from the Appalachian music and the food, festivals, traditions, and a slower pace that many will find refreshing because there's so much media about West Virginia being so negative. And West Virginia has all these problems. But I'll tell you, really, from a West Virginia standpoint, other states have just as many issues as West Virginia does. It's just for whatever reason, we have the stigma of being so much worse for whatever reason. And really, I largely disagree with that. West Virginia is a great state for homesteading and owning your own land. There's a lot of land in West Virginia that's not developed that you could purchase, make your own small farm. You could live off the grid or just kind of blend into the local community, have hunting property or a small farm, and really make the property what you want it to be from the very beginning of having it cleared of timber and stuff like that, and make it your own West Virginia retreat. It's only fair to talk about some of the challenges of living in West Virginia when you want to talk about all the positives. And so one thing is that there is limited internet and cell phone coverage in West Virginia. West Virginia as a whole has been doing a lot better of a job getting high-speed internet and broadband into its communities and up the hollers and down the roads. But there's still work to be done, but it's definitely getting better over the last few years as compared to the last 10 to 15 years. So that does open up an opportunity for remote work or really just having better coverage for your home when you have smart televisions, multiple phones, and stuff like that you're trying to put on your home internet. Healthcare access is definitely something to consider when looking in different areas of West Virginia, because while we do have many great local hospitals and clinics, they are a little scattered out, and some communities do not have direct access to health care. And that's something to keep in mind when locating a property that you might want to purchase in West Virginia, because it might be, compared to other states, it might be a situation where the property you're looking at could be 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes away, 2 hours away. There are these certain circumstances to definitely keep in mind when thinking about healthcare. Travel times in West Virginia is another thing to keep in mind. A lot of people do travel for work in West Virginia. Now, that's not saying that they go out of state or something like that, but you might have an hour drive to work depending on where you want to live versus what kind of career opportunities you can find in the surrounding communities around that piece of property. One very important thing to West Virginia lifestyle is shopping. Not every town is going to have the big box stores and stuff like that you might traditionally want to go shop at. And so you might be an hour, hour and a half away from the large communities to get to experience that same shopping experience, but you might be a little bit further away from home, depending on, again, how rural you get in the state of West Virginia. Something else to keep in mind is that houses in West Virginia are usually older. You have a lot of homes that were built during the coal booms in the cities predominantly, that were built in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s that might need remodeling. And that's just something to keep in mind whenever you go to purchase a property that might be a little bit older. So is West Virginia really right for you? If you want a slower pace of life with a small town lifestyle, and if you like the space, nature, and privacy that you can get in many different properties and homes in West Virginia, it could be a dream. If you don't mind a little bit longer of a drive to work and to shopping, and if you don't mind certain things that come with rural living, basically in probably any state, then it's still definitely manageable and still definitely a state worth your consideration. If you're considering a move to West Virginia, subscribe for more tips about living, working, and buying property here in the Mountain State, and really what all we can show you, what it's like living especially in central and southern West Virginia, and really all the different opportunities, the true way of life, the good and the bad that West Virginia has to show for not only ourselves who live here, but for those of you who might be willing to live here yourselves. My name is Garrett Cole. I'm the broker of Lakewood Real Estate Service. I appreciate you watching this video, and until next time.